Algar Productions.
This is the Post-Atomic Horror, the most comprehensive Star Trek podcast ever produced. Your hosts are Ron Algar Watt and Maggie Robotham. Episode 515, Strange New Worlds.
Hi friends, welcome to the Post-Atomic Horror. I'm Al.
I'm Maggie.
And we are officially out of the very short treks and into the very good treks.
Yay! Fuck you, short treks. I hated you.
Mm-hmm, you worked great. No, short treks were okay. Very short treks, less
Yeah,
so.
very short treks. Short treks were fine.
There were some good ones. There were some dumb ones too, but there were some good ones.
There were some dumb ones that were made dumb by the series ending.
Well, that's true too. I was thinking, as much as I enjoyed it at the time, I'm not sure I'm crazy about H. John Benjamin inventing tribbles.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about that either. That thing works well as like sort of by itself and not tying into larger Trek.
Yeah, and really, when you talk about shows that are tweaking the canon and messing with it, that is the perfect lead into Strange New Worlds, because this show does some good world building for the original series, a lot of filling in details we didn't have, but also there's some things that do not work for me, and we'll get into them as we get into the series. But a couple of characters where it's like, you really? That is not the impression I had of you from the 60s, but okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a few of them.
Quite a few, but that's okay. But I'm going to say it now, Uhura never got shit to do in the show or the movies, and already in this show, of the 2 seasons I've seen, she's like kicking ass, so that's good.
She gets so much to do.
Yeah, about time.
And she's great.
Yeah, she is. Everybody's well. We'll get into it, but I suppose you should tell us what happens in the pilot for Strange New Worlds, which is also not confusingly at all called Strange New Worlds.
I mean, I guess it would be worse if it was just called like Pilot or something.
That's true.
All right, so we start with number 1, remember her, from Disco, making a speech about first contacts and how she is doing a first contact before we travel to Earth and check in on Captain Christopher Pike, remember him, from Disco, who is having a rough time trying to decide if he wants to return to Starfleet after experiencing a prophetic vision, remember it, from Disco, that will leave him in a life support chair with a face like a Halloween mask left on a radiator. He's contacted by extremely hot Admiral April, who wants to know if he's planning on returning to the Enterprise anytime soon. Remember her from Star Trek? April fills Pike in about number 1's failed first contact mission and tells him to stop moping around and get back to work. Gee, thanks, Dad. I never thought of that. Pike calls Spock, remember him from Disco and Star Trek The Next Generation and 2 of the Abrams movies and the Carol Burnett Show, who is currently on a date with his lady friend, T'Pring. Remember her from Amok Time? Thanks, Captain, but whatever. Let's all head back to the Enterprise, take a long, lingering look at the place, and then meet the new crew. We've got Dr. Mbenga. Remember him from a couple episodes of Star Trek? Christine Chapel. Remember her from some more episodes of Star Trek? La'an Noonien Singh. Remember her fascist ancestor from Star Trek and also a movie and apparently a podcast? And Erica Ortegas. Remember her from nothing? Okay, I'm stopping now. Anyway, the ship heads off to Kylie 279, planet of the girls I knew in the 90s, to find Una and company. The ship almost instantly gets attacked by torpedoes that their current level of technology could not have made. In fact, none of this planet seems like it could develop a warp drive. Turns out what they have developed is a warp bomb, though. That's much worse, says Pike. You understand how that's much worse. So Pike, Spock, and La'an beam down undercover to find Una and quickly find themselves in a society that has been at war for 200 years and is so not ready for the Federation's particular brand of bullshit. They send the kidnapped Una and company back, but Pike and Spock stay behind to do the great Star Trek tradition of convincing a warring society not to blow themselves up, but actually talk out their problems. And it actually kind of works. Peace talks begin for the first time in centuries. The crew return to the Enterprise, and Pike prepares to start this new series, seeking out new life and new civilizations, boldly going where no one has gone before. Remember? Like from Star Trek.
Yeah, except they're not a fire truck.
No. They're not a fire truck. I don't know what they are yet, but they're not a fire truck.
No, this show very much is in the spirit of the original series. They actually go to new planets, which is...
Yeah, we go out and look at new planets and see them and talk to people, and it's great.
Which really, when was the last time we got that? Like, Voyager stopped and looked at stuff every now and then, but like we complained about this a lot toward the end of Next Gen. They didn't do much exploring.
Oh, they were really on their ways places in Voyager. Yeah, like fucking Enterprise was always off doing like fucking some kind of dumb bullshit about a war.
Yeah, and like Voyager did stop occasionally, and like DS9 occasionally would go through the wormhole and poke around where they weren't welcome. But for the most part, we didn't get a show all about exploration.
Yeah, just a ship out there looking for stuff and seeing what's out there to look at.
Everyone's like, no, it needs to be more complicated than that. No, it really doesn't.
It's such a good basis for a TV show.
It's space. The whole point is there's so many different things.
There's all this crap to look at.
Yeah, some of it is real cheap to make if you're running low on budget, but you can also use your imagination if you have a little more money and like, you know.
I mean, this is not going to surprise anybody coming from me, but the idea that you're out as far away as possible from planet Earth and you still manage to find the planet of the gangsters is still pretty fucking great.
Yeah, it is.
Why are there gangsters out here? Well, there's a few reasons.
Someone left a book.
Yeah. How to Be Gangster Planet. All right, well.
I don't know who wrote this.
I can think of worse
why.
books to... Weird choice, but you know what? I can think of worse things to base my society around.
Look, even before we found out its author was an irredeemable monster, people built their entire lives around Harry Potter, and, you know, I was one of those people who's like, I'm begging you, read another book.
Please, for the love of Christ, there's so many other books. There's so many better wizard books.
Yeah. Anyway.
Like, if you want to make wizards your whole personality, fine, but, like, there's some good wizards out there.
What I want to do is make space adventurers my entire personality, and this is the show for it.
Yeah, man.
We get into it.
All the stuff.
Yep. And we got a lot of stuff to go. Like, obviously, as the show unfolds, we'll have stuff to say about each character. But I would say, as a first episode, this one does a better job than maybe any of the others, because I saw you in your notes talking about how maybe it ties a little too close to Disco, and I feel that, but also I had the feeling we were putting the band back together already, which is like, this show has the unique advantage of you already know a lot of these guys, so you don't have to have the tedious recap of who they are. It's just like, oh, there's Pike, there's Spock, there's number one. Like, you know the key players, and then you're meeting the supporting guys as we go, and it's like, all the heavy lifting you have in a pilot is gone, and we're just meeting back up with friends we already have, and I thought that was great.
I do appreciate that. Like, it's a weird line to walk, because I'm watching this and I'm like, well, on the one hand, I don't love that like so much of this relies on Disco, but on the other hand, it's a spinoff. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? You know?
Also, I like that. I genuinely, like, I don't think they played that card too heavily. I think you know me. I like when I don't like when the universe feels small, but I do like when things feel connected. And something you didn't touch on in your summary, which wasn't really relevant to the characters or whatever, but like the meaning, like the reason these guys were able to reverse engineer warp is because of the big fuck off wormhole they opened to get rid of Control back in Disco.
Yes,
end of season 2, and it was real close to this planet, and they detected all this stuff, and they're like, "What is this? Can we make this? What if it was a bomb?"
Now that I really like.
That was nice.
Even with the tying into Disco, like,
yes,
because it's cool. And like Pike realizing and just going, "Oh my god, of course!" Like, I can't believe this didn't occur to us.
And because all of that was highly classified, because it had to be, you had to eliminate all references to Control, or else it would come back, is what they said. And that's not like. That was kind of a clumsy way to say this is why Michael was never mentioned, but it worked. And
it does. And it's basically the Terminator 2 thing. Yeah.
And the fact that April at the end was able to say, well, they broke the Prime Directive, but we caused this situation from classified. So we can't talk about any of this. So did he really break any rules at all? And like, yeah, all right, that's solid lawyer ball.
Yeah,
no.
Good job. We can't punish you if like the reason for punishment is all blacked out. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I guess we could, but like,
yeah, but we can't get a jury or tribunal or whatever it is Starfleet would have to rule on this if they can't have vital pieces of information.
We can't find any jury of your peers because we can't have. No one's allowed to know about this.
Exactly. In fact, they even mention, like, as they're walking and La'an, like, is there, and they say, do you, like, she's not cleared for this. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We opened a hole to the future.
A future hole?
Mm-hmm. And since I mentioned La'an, let me just get into my bad thing.
Yeah.
Whom I will be referring to going forward as Khan Jr., because the first time I thought of that, I thought I was a clever little boy, and I'm very pleased with it. So there you go. In the 2 seasons of the show I've seen so far, Khan Jr. was easily my least favorite character. In fact, going through the whole list of the extended cast, the only one I don't like. Like, all the other shows had a few, like, well, I'm not crazy about this one, or like, you know, as we just come off Prodigy, we're just like, okay, we like half of them anyway. But literally everybody except her. And I thought we'd be getting more of that into that in later episodes, but a lot of it's here already. In fact, she takes up a lot of room that could have been used to get to know some of the other secondary characters better. Like, we get into her backstory quite a bit here.
And she really is after Pike and Spock, and it's going to take a lot of effort for me to say Pike and not automatically go Kirk and Spock.
Yep, exactly.
But no, she takes up so much real estate, from all of the other cast members.
And I get that, like, there's a plot, like, there's some theme stuff baked in there where it's like Pike's trying to work out his unique PTSD for something that hasn't happened yet. And so thematically that connects with Khan Jr.'s PTSD for something that did happen. But, like, okay, first of all, her name is basically Sally Hitler.
Yep.
Like, never mind that. Never mind the fact that when we get to the original series, they don't even remember who Khan Noonien Singh is in Space Seed. Like, there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of things where it's like, that doesn't work with the original series. I think we need to establish right away, do we care that much about that stuff?
We don't. I'm going to, like, I will certainly bring it up when it happens, but, like, at the end of the day, Strange New Worlds existing is more important to me than Strange New Worlds existing and perfectly tying into the original series. A show from, like, what, 70 years ago at this point?
No, 60. But
60 years at this point?
But the, like, T'Pring, for instance, from what I remember of Amok Time, and I've seen it a fair amount of times, like, a lot of this stuff doesn't work. Like, I'm pretty sure they mentioned that they were arranged to be married by their parents. And then in this episode, she proposes to him. So, like, already it doesn't really fit. But also, she's a great character, and I'm willing to, like, ignore all that because I like her.
She's, like, a great character. I adore T'Pring.
Whereas Enterprise tried to fill in all the vital things that we didn't know, and they did it in a way that sucked. So, like, you heard me complain about it a lot back then because it didn't make good stories or characters.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
But, like, T'Pring, just as an example, such a great addition to this show.
Absolutely. But like, I don't think that version really works with, and same with Chapel, which we'll definitely get into.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, like, the fact that they don't know or remember Khan Noonien Singh in Space Seed when Spock worked with La'an, who is a direct descendant, like, come on. Like, okay, never mind all that. Never mind the fact that the franchise can't leave Khan alone. You got to work him into fucking, and that's going to come up big time in season 2.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about her base character, which is essentially Tasha Yar talking about the R camps all over again. Like, I'm not suggesting that it's bad to have a character with serious trauma, but it's handled just as little nuance as it was in TNG. Like, there's an episode coming up that shows that the performer is actually really good. I just hate the character. It's all in the writing.
She really does just drag, like, it. The thing was, when I went into this yesterday, like, I was really, I've been really excited about this show because like, it's my favorite of the ones that are on right now.
Yeah.
And first of all, she shows up. I'm like, oh, right. Fucking Khan Jr.'s in this. And I was like, oh, right. And I have no memories of her other than, like, an episode from, I think, season 2. Like, she's always around, but, like, I got nothing to latch onto there.
Yeah, she's the security chief. She's on the bridge, and she's a regular part of pretty much every plot. But
and just, like, everything else about this show is, like, it's not like wacky or anything, but, like, it's got a lighter tone, and anytime she's on screen, just everything just sort of dips because she's just like, I don't know about that, Captain. I'm pretty mad about things.
Yeah, it's a thing that Star Trek seems to keep coming back to and never really pulling off, which is that younger woman who's been through some trauma, who's got a chip on her shoulder. Like, early Kira was like that, and they did a course correction quickly because if that's the whole character, it's nothing. But they gave her so much more depth that it was okay. And Connie, at least after 2 seasons, like, I've only seen 2 seasons, so I don't know what happens in season 3, and season 4 hasn't happened yet. So, but like, everything I've seen of her so far is like, ugh. But again, there's a fantasy episode coming up this season where she gets to play out of character, and she's great.
Yeah.
It's not the actor. It's just the material. Whereas, you know, in the past, we've been like, especially recently, like, oh, Will Wheaton sucks as well as Wesley Crusher. I'm like, oh, Robert Baldwin sucks as well as Chakotay.
Yeah.
But here, it's really just the character. The performer's great.
Yeah.
Do you remember the one I'm talking about, the storybook one?
Yeah, I do.
She's great at
Not in any particular detail, but...
No, but you remember the existence of it. Like, she gets to play out of character, and she does an amazing job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe she's got an arc, and maybe she gets better in season 3 and 4. Who knows?
I hope so, because, like, you know, I don't want to be mad about stuff for this whole show.
Yeah. But her... At
least I'm not mad about the same thing every week.
I mean, we're going to get mad about the puppet episode. That's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a really good puppet episode.
I mean, Angels was, but we still were like, okay, it's season 5. It's time to go, guys.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, after they made Angel, it's like, well, you don't need to make another puppet episode. Like, you guys made a good puppet episode.
Also, these
by you guys, I refer to all media.
They seem to be taking specifically from the Buffy and Angel playbook, though, because also there's a musical coming up, which I did not like, but we'll get into that when we get there.
I still haven't seen that one.
I think that's around when you stopped. So,
yeah. Well, if it was right after the fucking crossover episode, which I never got around to.
They did that one, and then there was another episode between, and then they did the musical. They did like 2 wacky ones real close.
Yeah.
But the part of Connie's backstory, and I'm spelling it Khann, by the way. I'm so clever. I'm done with that now.
You know, Con Jr. from King of the Hill.
Yes, exactly, or Connie for short.
Yes.
They part of her backstory is like it all comes from the Gorn. Like the Gorn loom large in this show, and I'm not crazy what they do with those guys either, but we'll get there when we see them. But this kind of ties into your bad thing.
Going off of what you just finished saying, I really didn't need them to add the fact that the Gorn require breeding sacs and breeding worlds or whatever. That is unnecessary and gross. You don't have to add that kind of layer to a race of evil lizard people. They can just be evil lizard people.
My objection is that they're evil, and again, we'll get there when we get there. But it feels very fundamentally un-Star Trek to say these are the bad guys and they are just our enemies, and there's nothing redeeming about them at all. Like, really? But again, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Also, like, in my... Go ahead.
It's just in my head, the Gorn are like... We haven't seen a ton of the Gorn, but they've shown up a few times. And
no, at this point, we've literally seen the one.
Really? Wow.
I thought the same as you, but Memory Alpha says this is the first time like the Gorn have been used in any significant way since Arena. So
I would have sworn up and down on a stack of Star Trek compendiums that fucking the Gorn had shown up in Enterprise.
Okay, they did, but it was the mirror universe, and that doesn't count.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fine.
That's a an alternate version of them, but the mainstream prime timeline Gorn, only Arena. That's it. So
yeah. Well, then I stand by my thing, which is that they're a very cartoony species.
Yes, and again, we haven't gotten there. There's going to be some Gorn episodes where we can really get into this, but like, I like that they're bipedal lizards, and yes, it looks stupid because it was the 60s, but I bet you could update that in a way that looked cool. And instead, they went lizard instead of like they're not humans with lizard qualities. They're just straight up animals. And like,
where's this guy's vest? Huh?
Yeah. Look,
give that man a vest.
It's the 60s. They all had vests. The Romulans had football helmets, man. Like,
I know.
This is how it goes.
Yeah. No, listen, no one is disparaging the vest. I love the vest.
Well, and this kind of ties into your good thing. Like, there's ways to take that goofy 60s shit and make it cool.
Yes. So I want to hit this first and get it out of the way. Like I noticed I've been doing this a lot for when we start a new series, which is just to hit the what's the aesthetic, you know?
Yeah.
And I love the way that this show updates the old 60s aesthetic. Like, and the older I get, the more I realize that's sort of what I like Star Trek to look like is the fucking
that
the 60s show.
Classic space age ray gun.
Yeah.
Like sci-fi. Absolutely.
Like this episode, we got the updated uniforms. We get to see shuttles, tricorders, the ships. All of it looks like it would fit into the 60s aesthetic if they had the money and the tech to do it.
Yep.
I also love they do a couple of different choices. There's the light blue medical uniforms, which I love. The white jumpsuit thing that Chapel wears and like some medical people wear is fucking awesome. That might be a personal problem though.
Yeah. Well,
Just
everyone on this show is gorgeous, but Chapel,
everyone on this show is gorgeous. But they took Nurse Chapel, a sort of willowy gal with like bleach blonde white hair, and then put her in a white jumpsuit. One of the hottest things a person can wear.
I will say, I've pointed. Oh, go ahead.
The whole thing just looks great, and it looks like in my head, that's what Star Trek looks like. You guys nailed it on the head. You know,
I'm fine with them changing. Like, we're covering hundreds of years of fictional history here, so it's fine if the aesthetic changes. But yeah, this classic look works. There is an argument to be made with, like, you need to move forward. You can't just keep going back to the 60s. But this is one of those times they got it right. So I don't know. And also the Abrams movies, 2 out of 3 got it right. So maybe I'm wrong, and maybe they just need to keep going back to the 60s.
Yeah. Well, Here's the thing. I am perfectly fine with like if there's one thing I know about Starfleet, it's that they change uniform designs at the drop of a hat, any hat. But they will never wear hats.
Well, but Admiral April has a variation of the blue disco uniform, which I thought was a nice touch of continuity. Like, again, this show is the bridge. Like, Disco was ostensibly a prequel to the original series, but it never really felt like that. But this show connects to Disco, and it connects to the original series in a way where it's like, okay, all of this stuff lives in the same universe, and this is the dot that goes between those 2 dots where it makes sense.
But this show is so influenced by, like, especially the original series, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And having that tie, that, like, we go from this to this, basically.
And I had a problem with I heard conflicting reports on this. I don't know if it's true, and I really don't care at this point because it's kind of behind us now. But the idea that at one point they were only allowed to make uniforms that were some percent similar to the original series or some shit. You remember that?
Oh.
Like, we talked about this way back when Pike showed up in Disco, and he had that weird black collar thing that I thought, like, you guys almost nailed this uniform. What is that? And like, it wasn't even a bad-looking thing. It ruined evoking the old school thing because you made something else.
Yeah. When you're making the point that Christopher Pike is showing up, like, you're expecting him to look a certain type of way.
Exactly. But they like, and what we had heard at the time, I don't know if this was substantiated or not, was for legal reasons because Paramount owned this and CBS owned that, blah, blah, blah. You couldn't make it 100% accurate. You had to make it a little off, was what they had said. And whatever happened, that's not a thing anymore because this just looks like a much better, but exactly the same version of the uniform that Kirk wears.
Yeah.
It's great.
I love it.
Yeah, me too.
I noticed for the rank wrist things that they have. I noticed for the first time that like they're sort of like shiny colored versions of whatever the uniform is, and that looks awesome.
Yeah.
That is a good look.
There's a bit where they're on the planet and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and they pull out a tricorder, and it is just the classic 60s like fucking tricorder, but it also looks like a device that, like, it didn't look like a 60s throwback. Like, why does this have push buttons and switches? They tweaked it just enough so it still looks futuristic, but it also looks like they really threaded that needle really well, which is hard to do.
And we get like the classic ass communicators, which I really love. There's a bit where Pike plugs it into like a setup he's got in his house that like lets it go to video.
Yeah,
and that's another thing. It's like that absolutely is like taking that classic that classic communicator and also making it like basically like a modern cell phone.
Yeah. Well, he even said like he's hanging out at his house with his captain girlfriend, and I don't remember her name. But
I don't either, which shows you exactly how much she sticks around.
That's not true. She's around at least until season 3.
No shit. Wow. Okay, I completely forgot about her.
Yeah, she's on a different ship. She drifts in and out, but she is a part of the show, and she is his girlfriend, I think, for at least the first couple seasons.
No kid. Oh, I thought she just vanished.
No, she sticks around. I like the performer. I like the look of her. I like her acting. She seems way too young to be a captain.
Yes.
She's about 30, and the whole thing about Kirk was that he was the youngest captain, and he was about 30, and like, she should be a little older is all.
Yeah.
But other than that, she's fine. But he says to her when her communicator's ringing, like, get the phone. Like, they even use the word phone, and he's got kind of a retro house, which...
Well, we literally see a fucking rotary phone on his desk. Like, I guess this is just the kind of shit he's into.
And I've complained a lot since Trek came back that they're really stuck in modern Earth, and I maintain that. Like, he's got a TV, and he's watching The Day the Earth Stood Still, which is about exactly what happens in this episode. I was like, that's a little on the nose. But on the other hand, they do very little of it, and once he leaves his house, and until the very end when Uhura says something is cool, it doesn't take me out of that future thing, and they are doing that thing where it's like, no, this is a fantasy setting. Like, nobody's talking about Nepo babies. It's nice.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. We love that.
Yeah, it's good. There's
the complete lack of the term party people in this episode is just a huge point in its favor.
Nobody walks in and goes, "What up?" It's nice. There is a great tease for the audience because at the very beginning, Pike gets on the ship, and they're like, Lieutenant Kirk will be joining us soon. And you're thinking, is he a lieutenant back then? Was he?
Yep.
Was he? Did he serve under Pike? Was this And at the end, they're like, and here's Lieutenant Kirk. And we're like, well, I guess we're doing this. And it's Sam. It's his brother.
Yes, his brother.
His mustache brother who dies in Operation Annihilate.
Operation Annihilate.
Right. By those stupid rubber pancake aliens.
Yeah.
Shatner with a mustache.
We love it.
But it's a great fake out for anyone who's like, wait a minute, Kirk already? And it's like, no, not actually.
And like, it works so well. Like, it worked on me twice. Cause like when they mention it, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess fucking Kirk shows up in this, but I forgot he showed up this early. And then Sam shows up at the end. I'm like, oh fuck, you got me again.
Yeah. And much like they're doing with Uhura, much like they're doing with Chapel, here's a character even more than those guys who existed way on the periphery who it might be interesting to learn about. And so this is your chance to do that.
We have always talked since we were doing the 60 series about like Kirk's brother comes up once.
Yep.
You know, and like Kirk never really seemed bothered by the fact that he died or anything. There's that bit in one of the later Trek movies where Kirk's like,
it was 5.
That's right. I lost a brother once. I got him back. I'm like, you lost a brother who did not come back. He was killed by pancakes.
You lost a blood brother as well as your metaphorical brother here, my friend. Yep.
Yes, but I don't care about him.
I guess not. But it's a nice like way to fill it out. And the universe is a little small, but you know what? We're on the Enterprise. We are going to cross paths with people we've met before, so I don't mind this so much.
Well, and also, like, so much of the original series ended up being Kirk, Spock, and Bones slightly lower. Yeah. You know, like, we had all these characters that could have had stories that just weren't.
Yeah.
Just because of how that show worked, and also because of Shatner refusing to let people do anything. You know?
Yeah,
like
it's nice to fill the world out a bit. And we said this when we covered the Abrams movies, too. Oh, finally, Chekhov does something, and he's kind of cool. And Sulu does something, and, like, it's great. And here we get that same opportunity again.
Well, and we've got, like, Dr. Mbenga shows up, who showed up just enough on the original series for you to recognize his name.
Twice.
Yeah, which is enough for Star Trek.
No, exactly. But it's like, wait, Bones has a counterpart. He's got like Bones is the chief medical officer, but there's a perfectly competent doctor here that could take over when he's gone, and they never mention him.
Yeah. Fucking Kyle's here.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, who hasn't had a chance to grow the mustache that foreshadows his beard.
Kyle cannot grow a mustache. This Kyle is 10 years old and
he
can
sure
barely
is.
see over the transporter console, and he's adorable.
He shows up wearing basically the Star Trek zip-up hoodie that I own.
No, so what he's got is like the red shirt, like, because he's in engineering, and he's got a vest like he's a waiter.
Or a Gorn.
Yes. No, it's not a colorful vest. It's just a black vest.
Sure.
To me, he reads like a waiter, but also, again, so small. Like, he's just a wee little guy.
Captain Pike, it is so nice to have you back on the Enterprise.
Why are you French?
I am the transporter chief / waiter of the Enterprise.
Oh, I thought you heard me say we and thought I meant we.
Oh, shit, you didn't? Oh, no.
I'm Lieutenant Kyle.
This is so embarrassing. My first day on the job.
So he hardly ever got anything to do, and he gets a little more to do. He gets
I'm getting smaller and smaller.
I don't know if it's a transporter thing or just how my people are. I don't know.
Human?
I guess. But he gets a cool transporter trick that I've never seen before, which is so they do a nice bit of world building where it's like, you know, when someone has to go undercover on a planet and they got to put on like a mask basically to look like the indigenous people, they also give you an injection to change your genome.
Mm-hmm.
So like it'll pass like scanners and stuff. And Spock, because he's half Vulcan and they don't have time to work out the serum, it doesn't hold for very long.
Yeah. I love that Chapel's like, you got a lot going on right now, so like
if we had time to sit here and figure it out, I'm sure with your help we could, but we got to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
I got a Vulcan
for a bit, and
I got a Vulcan spray and I got a human spray, and I'm not sure.
Bit of each, but
cross your fingers.
So they do this thing where they can't beam it to him to give himself an injection. Kyle has to beam the serum into his blood from orbit, which is one of the coolest. You know I'm a sucker for you already built all these pieces and now you're putting them together in a new order. You're not like they're not creating some new Star Trek shit. They're using what they got in a cool new way, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
That was cool. Just like the warp bomb thing. I thought that was a cool idea.
I love that bit where Kyle's like, transporters don't work like that. And I forget who it is, but they're like, you got 10 minutes to make it work like that.
Ortegas has the center seat at that point. And well, they're gonna.
Oh, I love Ortegas.
Ortegas is fantastic. And she is largely an original creation. I might get this wrong, but they at least name-checked and I think even showed briefly once a character named Ortegas in that seat in The Cage. It was a dude. Sure. And they just said, no, actually, it's a woman. This is Erica. It's fine.
Yep.
But it is a slight homage to The Cage, as I recall. It's just they tweaked it just a little bit.
Sure.
But that's okay.
No, I like that.
Yeah. I did not catch the name of her counterpart in the other seat. Like, she's in the Sulu seat. And who's in the Chekhov seat? There's an Asian lady.
Yes.
I couldn't know her name.
I do not know.
Yeah, she's not an existing character as far as I know. But what this ends up doing is when Pike and Spock are gone, the bridge is just all women.
Yeah, it rules.
Ship of the Valkyries. It's great.
Yep.
The show has so many women. It's nice.
Yeah. Erica's in the captain chair and just, this is great.
Yeah, Uhura's back there behind her. And, it's fantastic. Uhura, they did that. Oh, go ahead.
Uhura has this moment too where she does a perfect Nichelle Nichols smile tap the earpiece thing.
Yes.
Like it's great.
They did a good job, like a good pilot or anything where you're introducing characters for the first time. I praised this in the Abrams movie back in the day. Like, you got to give everyone a moment to shine, to show what their character is like and show what their job is. And they did a good job with everyone in this. Like Chapel got her moment, like figuring out this serum, and like Ortegas got to be in the captain's chair. And with Uhura, they do the old trick where they knock out the guards and take their uniforms down on the planet. And they're like, we don't want to just hide them behind a column like people do in old movies. That's stupid.
Yeah.
What if we beamed them to the Enterprise? That'd be fine. Which everyone looks at Connie like, what?
That's a terrible fucking idea. No, it'll be great.
We've all seen Star Trek. This is going to go wrong. And but they do it, and it goes wrong. And one of them they manage to subdue, and the other one starts running through the corridors of the Enterprise and ends up in the turbo lift with Uhura. And this is Uhura's moment where she's like, oh, I see what's happening. I studied this culture because I'm a linguist and I'm on the ball.
Yep.
I can just start talking to you about sports. And basically calms him down until they step out on the bridge, and then Chapel hits him with a fucking hypo spray.
It's so good. Just the way she, like, puts him completely at ease right away, you know?
Like, teasing out communications officer to linguist was a thing they did with her in the movies, and I was so happy about that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
taking
it's
it
great.
Taking it further and saying, well, to study a language, you have to study a culture, which means she's basically like a anthropologist. She's not just the one who turns on the phone for you. She is like, she can study cultures and understand their languages and like relate how this culture works to a previous culture to help you figure out what they're about or whatever. And like, so good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. The only
that scene.
Go ahead.
That scene also has Chapel just chasing the guy down, waving a hypo spray at him, and having what I would describe as the time of her life.
Yeah, she does seem to be enjoying herself. She's not too troubled by it.
I am going to say we learn a lot about Chapel and Uhura in that scene, and we learn they are very different characters that I like quite a bit.
Yeah. No, again, like in an hour, I feel like I know most of these guys. I wish we'd gotten a little more Mbenga, but that is a minor complaint that will be remedied very soon.
That's the episode. The pilot's already jam-packed, you know?
Yeah. And again, the fact that a lot of that narrative heavy lifting has been done by the fact that these guys showed up in Disco, these guys will show up later in the original series, means you don't have to say, this is Christopher Pike, the captain of the Enterprise before James Kirk. Like, you know all that, so they can get on with some other stuff.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
But we also don't have, like, Captain Pike meet Nyota Uhura.
Yeah, exactly. They have a little of that because she's a cadet, and that's where that comes up. And it's like, oh.
Yeah. Cadet Uhura.
The only other thing is there's a great engineer character who beams in the last seconds of the episode.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I like that guy too. Why wasn't he here yet?
I
might
missed
just not
him.
have had room.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I missed that character because I also like that character a lot. But, like, you know,
he's
there's just not enough time to tell them all.
He's an albino Andorian, so he's got like the classic Andorian look, but sort of off-white gray, and he's blind. And if I remember correctly, he's played by a blind actor, which is cool.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I gotta double check that, but I'm pretty sure they're like, okay, we're gonna do this, like deal with this disability thing with some sensitivity, and we're gonna like cast someone who can't see, which is
that's awesome.
Great. Yeah. So I haven't really gotten to my good thing yet. I probably talked about this back in Disco. I have mixed feelings about Pike knowing what's going to happen to him before the menagerie, like the accident that puts him in the beeping chair. On the one hand, it feels a bit fantasy-ish for my taste. Like, you know, it's the prophecy. It's your inevitable future. It's a bit Buffy and Angel. It's a bit even fucking like Macbeth. Like, it's just like, this is Star Trek. Do we have to do a prophecy? And I was ready to launch into a whole tirade about that until Pike starts talking about how knowing about his own death means he can't cheat death, which obviously was Kirk's entire thing, cheating death. That was Wrath of Khan. That was Treacher Spock. That's him. And it was such a good way to say, yeah, he looks like young Shatner, and yeah, he's got the swagger, but Anson Mount as Captain Pike is a very different captain. He knows where he's going to end up. And what that means is he wants to do as much good as he can and not be responsible for any more death than he knows he has to be. And he even tells everyone when they show up to the planet, this is not going to be anyone's last mission. We're going to make it out of here. And when they're on the planet and they're about to leave because of the Prime Directive, they say, like, look, we got to go. We can't interfere. And he said, this warp bomb is going to kill all these guys. The fact that I had a chance to stop that and I didn't is no. I have to stop this. I don't care. I'll take the I'll take the slap on the wrist or whatever. I just need to save these. And like, it makes him so much more motivated to do good with the time he has left.
Yes.
And it's great.
It really is just it gives you a character that you're really excited to follow, you know?
Yeah, he's like, I bought this before he knew about the menagerie thing. Like, he's compassionate, and I am always, who could say why? I am always a sucker for a male presenting, very masculine, very compassionate and caring character, because they don't exist really.
Yeah.
Like,
it's impossible to say why, Al.
I know, but Star Trek has had some, and I love it. I love a caring butch dude, you know?
Yes.
Like, he's a classic macho action hero who also will use your pronouns right, and
yes,
all that. You know what I mean? Like, he's the whole package.
I mean, the show opens with him basically cowboying a horse, you know? Like,
yes. So you establish his action hero bona fides, but then the rest of the episode is like, I don't want a single person to die. I don't care if I'm the captain of a big, scary military ship. Nobody's going to die.
Yep. No, obviously we already had the affection for him from Disco, where he was very good, but like, he hits the ground fucking running here with just like, this guy rules, actually. I can't wait to watch a series based around this guy and his friends.
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, there's one character I'm not fond of, but apart from that, there's a nice ensemble here of everybody I really do like, and characters coming up. Like, Carol Kane doesn't happen until season 2, and she's also great.
Oh, Carol Kane's so fucking good.
Yep.
I love that character.
But framing all this, like, after what I heard, I can't go back out there, and then having to, okay, this is a situation that I have to, like, Una got herself in this. We got to help her get out and all that.
Yeah.
It's good. And also, I like starting out with a fairly low stakes. Like, yeah, the stakes are high for that planet. But
well, yeah, but like, the Federation's not going to explode if that warp bomb goes off, you know?
No. These people are going to, like, kill themselves with the weapon that we inadvertently gave them, but they were going to do it some kind of way anyway.
Yeah, they were, like, the episode makes it pretty clear that they've been gearing up for, like, a huge war for a while now.
Yeah, and the only real stakes at the beginning are, we got to get number 1 and these 2 engineers back, and that's it.
Yes.
I think they're engineers. And 2 people she brought with her anyway.
It's like 3 people on a little ship with a ball on the front, like.
Yes, the USS Archer.
Ugh.
That was a point against, I have to say.
Yeah. We do get a shuttle named after Stamets, though.
Yeah, which, as you
presumably
point out in your
because
notes,
he just
is pretty
died.
Quick.
Yeah.
But
I got to assume, like, when they cover that up, it's just like incredibly, like, genius scientist Paul Stamets cut down in the prime of his life before he could finish whatever it was he was working on. Mumble,
which is classified.
Yeah. So you get a shuttle.
Speaking,
and you get a shuttle. Everyone on Discovery gets a shuttle.
The I do like that Pike keeps, like, people keep saying, Chris, what is your problem? What's going on with you? And he keeps saying that's classified. And like his captain girlfriend and Admiral April are like, I have a higher clearance than you. What do you mean it's classified? And what he means is, I was involved in some time shenanigans and I can't tell you.
I don't care that you're an admiral.
Yeah, this is like, we have rules about this, man. You know.
Yeah.
I do like that he tells Spock, though.
Oh, of course.
I like that they're like, okay, this is a way that they're just copying the Kirk thing, and I don't really care. The fact that they're really close, because we need that to happen by the menagerie, because Spock risks his career and his life to save him. So we need to do that groundwork. So
that like, their relationship has to be important enough that Spock's gonna risk his career for this guy.
Yeah. I will say... Yeah.
I really like that scene where, like, Spock comes in and Pike is like, do you want a drink? And they're just sort of, like, chatting, you know?
Yes, I agree. That's one of the things I like about him. And it's definitely a bit of a Riker vibe to me, because he's, like, real easy to talk to. He cooks. You know what I mean? Like, it's that same kind of, like, sort of dad. And I want to say dad energy, but really M'Benga is the dad of the show.
Oh, yeah.
We see him for 30 seconds, and he's got that big smile, and he's just got that dad energy of, like, yeah, You
Oh yeah,
you can handle.
I just want to give him a big hug.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's such a perfect, like usually the captain is our default parent figure, but I think M'Benga's more of it. I mean, the Enterprise can have two daddies, but
oh yeah,
actually that might be it. Pike's the daddy.
Yeah, there you go.
In the modern sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because fuck, he's a sexy guy.
Listen, I get it. Like, not for me, but I get it. I was very taken with Admiral April, though.
Okay.
That's a hot man.
I will say, canonically, he's been mentioned but never shown up before. And the angry racist nerds, when he showed up, was like, oh, delicious tears. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, buddy, you can eat shit.
He's black. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. That guy rules.
He's great. And it's good to give Pike a boss that he's
yes.
Instead of the rotating cast of bitchy Commodores that Kirk had, like give a constant person that he's regularly checking in with, I think is better.
Well, I like too the idea that if you're an admiral, you have like a fleet, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're assigned to like a certain amount of ships that you're like on a basis with talking to the captain.
Well, we had that in Next Gen and DS9 too, because Nechayev showed up for both of them, and then it was Admiral Ross for a while.
Yes, I guess it just didn't occur to me until now.
Yeah, no, that's how it's supposed to work. It's like it's like if you work retail, it's like you got the manager, and then you got the district manager who sees over a bunch of stores. You know.
Yeah, I don't know much about the military, but I know a lot about retail. Explain it to me in retail.
Yeah. I mean, it's just org charts. Like it's the same in every fucking organization, really.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I don't like, I probably brought this up already because I think they've already named her on screen. First of all, I want number one to be great because Rebecca Romaine's great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good actor. She looks great. But from what I remember from the first two seasons, she don't do shit.
Yeah. This episode's not great, too, because she's basically the Princess Toadstool of this episode.
I don't mind that exactly, but it also means, like, because bringing in someone that Pike's close to tempt him out of possible retirement made sense.
Sure.
You could have made it Spock, but then you couldn't do the stuff with T'Pring. So
yeah,
I understand why they did that. But she, at least as far as the first two seasons, I feel is, and maybe I'll be wrong, you know, maybe I'll be proven wrong here, but feels a bit underused to me, but she's still good. But what I don't like is that she's named Una Chin Riley because there's a real specific kind of 70s Trek fandom thing here where they realized, oh, this is a multicultural show. Everything's multicultural. Everybody's got like a name from 5 different places, which is, it comes from a great place.
Yes.
But it also, if you don't do it right, comes off a bit hacky. And what they did was they named her Una because she's number one.
Sure.
And then they gave her an Asian name and an Irish name together because multicultural, and it just feels really clumsy to me.
Sure.
But that said, I hope she has some good moments ahead.
I know there is one episode that I know that she takes the lead in that I am a huge fan of.
Oh yes, I actually didn't love that episode, but we'll get
I remember.
Yeah, it's fine. We're better at doing than we used to be.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the Spock and T'Pring stuff because I feel like this ties into your quote. But
yes.
So we catch up with Spock. The Enterprise is in dry dock. They're doing upgrades and all that, and so he's hanging out with his girlfriend.
Yeah, basically, he goes off to have a date with his girlfriend. A very Vulcan date, which I actually really enjoyed.
Yep. And he keeps asking her questions prefaced with query, and she's like,
"Query?
You don't need to say query every time."
Yeah. Why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Who told you to do that? Stop it.
And then she proposes to him, which again, I have a weird continuity problem with, but also I've decided I don't care, so it's just cute. And yes, he is gorgeous.
I, in my head, already was like, I had it's like, okay, you guys are like arranged to be married, but also like T'Pring is finally pulling the trigger on that arranged marriage, basically.
Okay, that's fine.
You know?
Yeah. But
it doesn't really matter.
When we get to Amok time, everyone acts like, wait, Spock is engaged? When they were here for this, and slight spoilers for what comes ahead, she shows up on the ship a couple times.
Yes.
Which means Chapel knows who she is, Uhura knows who she is. Like, people who stick around have met this woman. So it's weird that everyone's like, Spock's fiance? What? But also, shut up, nerd, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, you know?
So,
like, I am okay with us taking sort of like concepts rather than exact plot points at this point, you know.
Well, like I say, if it results in a good character or a good story,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. And it does. She's a great character and they get some good stories out of it. So, but this scene, she proposes, he says yes, and then we get into what your quote is.
Yes, which they are right in the middle of starting to have sex when Pike phones, and this happens.
Spock, are you naked?
No, Captain.
No, Chris, he's not. He was about to be.
Oh, it's so good. Plus, you get shirtless Spock, which, you know, people are happy
Shirtless,
about.
again, there's a lot of really hot fucking men on this show.
There's just hot men, hot ladies, just hot people.
I am specifically saying this as someone who does not find men attractive, and there are some attractive fucking men on this show.
What I was going to say
Also,
earlier about
T'Pring is fucking gorgeous, Jesus Christ.
Yes, she is, and also looks a bit like who they cast in the '60s, but also modern, just like the aesthetic of the ship and the props. The characters also, she looks like a '60s Vulcan, but she also looks like we have the technology to make that look a lot better. So, looks great.
Just some amazing eye makeup. I'm just like, oh.
No, it's very, very good.
Yeah.
And something I noticed with Ethan Peck as Spock is they have to commit to the bowl cut, but they're trying to make it cooler by making it a little mussed and not literally just like a smooth bowl around his head. And I don't know that works. I think they're trying to make it too cool, and Spock should look a little dorky.
Yes. That's part of the appeal.
But that's a minor nitpick, I think. I'm not.
No, I definitely. Yeah, no, I definitely look at that guy and go, "That's Spock." It's not Leonard Nimoy, but it is Spock.
No, and honestly, I said this before. I like Zachary Quinto just a little better.
That's fine. I get it.
But
he did a great job.
He had the advantage of working with Nimoy to get it right, and this guy's doing it all on his own, and he's still doing a great job.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. They covered a lot here.
They did. I got a lot of notes here, which is after 2 seasons of Prodigy with 4 notes per episode, we got a lot going on now.
Those shows were largely action sequences. They were shorter episodes, but also every 22-minute episode was at least 10 minutes of puncho run. So
yep.
You know.
The space station by Jupiter that they end up at the end with the big forests.
Oh, it's Starbase 1. Yes.
Starbase 1. Fuck yes. I love that. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
And they tie it thematically to the episode because they say after World War III, we had a seed bank that basically preserved all the shit that was wrecked by the nuclear wars. And that helped us rebuild Earth. And then we built that into this.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about.
Yes, go ahead.
On the planet, they talk about World War III and all that shit. And they do this thing that I do not care for, which is desperately trying to make the timeline of Star Trek's future line up with our timeline.
Sure, which they do a lot.
They have been desperately trying to say, no, the eugenics wars happened here. And we're going to get into that more as the show goes on. And that way it all still makes sense. Guys, you can just have a fictional history. It's fine. It doesn't have to line up with what we don't think that this is ever going to happen, especially in the times we're living in, that we're never going to get there. But sorry to bum you out, but
I know. I live in America.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that. But they show, as he's talking about this, as he's telling them, look, we went through this shit too and we got better, which I've always liked that narrative of Star Trek. We went through this shit and we got better. That's good. That's hopeful. That's great. But they show footage from January 6th, which is
yes.
Are you literally saying this actual insurrection that happened, that has now been swept under the rug, by the way, was the actual start of the fictional World War III? That feels a little tasteless.
Well, they specifically say that it led to the Second American Civil War, which led to World War III.
Yes.
Which I don't think has ever come up before.
No. But if you look at the other 2 world wars, smaller regional wars started before those blew up.
Sure.
So it tracks. It's just using footage from a real thing that had just happened feels gross. I don't know.
I get where you're coming from. I absolutely do. I also like the idea that if any asshole who thought that was cool is watching this, they know they're the bad guy, or they know that Star Trek thinks they're the bad guy.
Oh, yeah. And then they go online and talk about how Star Trek's woke now. And
yeah, and they can go fuck themselves.
They're like, between that and Admiral April. Okay.
Also, I'll tell you this, fucking that with the guy that's in charge of Paramount now, whose name I don't know, that ain't going to happen again. So,
yeah, I who could say? But
yeah.
There's a lot of weird shit happening now. Paramount might be buying Warner Brothers.
Jesus Christ.
Who the fuck knows?
God, I love only having two corporations.
Yeah.
That will be buying them each other in the next year.
Mm-hmm.
What a wonderful time to be alive. Thank God.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm just gonna live here on the Enterprise with Captain Pike. It's fine.
Is that an option? Because that sounds real good. I'm gonna get me one of them jumpsuits.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I thought I had another thing I wanted to mention. No, maybe not. That might be it for this time. Oh, so they say in this episode, this is when they start calling it the Prime Directive, which is dumb.
Yes.
They're like, you broke it again, and they need to emphasize that you need to not break it. So now they're calling it the Prime Directive.
Yeah.
And Pike goes, that'll never catch on. Like,
I hate that shit.
But that's such a Lower Decks joke for a show
yeah,
that
it is.
avoided all that stuff right up until the very last minutes there. So, yeah. Also, Memory Alpha points out, Spock called it that when he showed up on Disco, so canonically it's already been called the Prime Directive. So
yeah, like, whatever.
Yep.
It's, it's a joke, and it's not a very good joke.
Nope. But there's a lot of good jokes in this.
Yeah. No, it's funny, like, likable characters. This is everything I want out of Trek,
Yeah, exactly. And, they're going to make some choices that I don't agree with, but we'll get there. Right now.
It's not. It is absolutely not a perfect show, but it is, like, I stand by the fact this is the best one they've got right now.
And this might be the strongest start. I'm thinking back on pilots. Like, Where No Man Has Gone Before was quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Farpoint was okay, and The Emissary was okay, and Caretaker was garbage.
Yep.
And Broken Bow or Bow, we never worked that one out. It was terrible.
I don't remember what the fuck happened. There's a Klingon in a cornfield.
Yep, that's it. And Archer's dad. Oh my god. And then Disco with the Vulcan
Hello. That was okay.
No, this is probably the best first episode.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to play in this world.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's all for this time.
Yeah.
Next week we have Children of the Comet.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember that one, but
I don't either, but I'm excited because I like comets.
Do you?
I mean, I think comets are cool. It's ice in space flying around. Like,
yeah, I know you generally like space stuff, but do you specifically have a thing for comets is what I'm asking.
I mean, like, if someone says comet, I'll definitely perk my ears and be like,
Very well.
It's not like high on my list of interests, but
all right.
It's more interesting than, like, if you said asteroid. If we're gonna rank all of space based on my interests, like,
Well, what's the top then of your naturally occurring space phenomena?
Oh God, black hole probably. Black holes are cool.
Mm-hmm.
The sun, like our sun, is pretty fucking neat. There's a whole They Might Be Giant song about it.
There's two They Might Be Giant songs about it.
Yeah.
They did one that was like based on 50 science, and then they did one updating the science because it was wrong, which was fucking cool.
Saturn, Saturn's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I like me like a nebula cloud, like one of those
nebula
multicolored,
clouds.
like, yeah. What Vishal calls that when I say, like, when he's drawn space stuff for us, and I say, could you put a little more of this here? He says, oh yeah, space snot. Okay.
Yeah. I love that.
Some space snot. Yep.
Fucking nebula's just jumped up a bit for me. I was on Tumblr and sorry, I'll keep this quick. Yeah. They basically showed what an audio recording. I forget how they do this, but like it's an audio recording of what a black hole sounds like.
Yep.
And it's so fucking cool, and also just like that's upsetting.
Oh, I think it's fantastic.
But, listen. it is upsetting in a awesome way.
I clicked on one of those. Like I love those posts when I see them too. And I clicked on one once, and they fucking rickrolled me.
That's fucking funny.
Like I'd seen enough of them to know. I'd seen enough of them to know that radio telescopes or whatever can detect like sound waves and blah 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 blah. Like so, I knew it was a real thing, and they got me good. All right.
Anyway,
well, so that's all for this time. As ever, the website is postatomichorror.com. If you want to write to us, it's postatomichorror@gmail.com. The next supplemental, who knows when it is though, because we don't know when this show's even done or when. Like we're doing this. The show is
still on the air.
Yeah, we're doing this for at least 30, 40 episodes, depending on how things go. So it's going to be a while, but, write something and just remind us of what we said, and we'll address it when we get there. And the Patreon, as ever, patreon.com/Algar. For as little as $1, you can hear the show well in advance. So check that out.
Yeah.
In fact, if you are not on the Patreon right now and you're hearing this, we're at least a season ahead over there. So check it out. All right. And that's all for this time.
Yeah. See you, folks.
The Post-Atomic Horror Podcast is a co-production of Maggie Robotham and Ron Algar Watt. Copyright 2025. Please don't sue us. We're just doing this for fun.